Hey folks, Quill18 here. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Motorsport Manager. We're doing the Underdog Challenge here with Team Predator. It's our fourth season, and we are hoping, although it's going to be fairly difficult, to move up the ranks over here. We've had some pretty good results so far, but Silver Racing is just a beast. And it'll really take some pretty good luck, especially in the RNG in the grid, the starting grid position, to overcome Silver Racing. We do have some new parts that have come in, and oh, right, that's what I want to talk about. I'm like, hold on, there's something else. Between episodes, so after I recorded this last time, I actually did put in a bid for Max Porter over here, who is sitting at 100% marketability. Now, part of it is because he's currently a catalog model. When he loses 30 marketability, I don't know if he's over cap right now. For all I know, he's sitting at 125% effectively. So when he loses this, he'll be at 95. I don't know what his base marketability is. I don't know if there's a way to find out. It doesn't actually break it down in these tooltips or anything like that. But his stats are considerably better than Owlbear, who has simply failed to sort of meet this potential that was kept being promised. She's not gaining a lot of skills from race to race, which is unfortunate, whereas Jesper has been going like crazy. So we're going to grab him. Max Porter is going to be more expensive per race than the Owlbear, but theoretically might have much better finishing, so we will see. Now, in terms of parts assignments, because we do have some new stuff going on here, I'm not 100% sure what to do. Do we want to make it easier for Jesper to continue getting, first, second, third kind of places, or do we want to give Amina a bit of a boost for the average? I think the more important thing is I think one high and one low finish is better point-wise than two sort of meh finishes. I mean, they'd have to be, so we're getting, 25 points for first place, and then it drops off pretty quickly. Like, if both of them were, say, fourth and fifth, then that might work out more than first and, finishing not in the points, although I'm not sure about that. But it would have to be two drivers that crazy up. So I think we are going to weight things more towards Jesper over here, because I think it's going to earn us more points overall. Now, the new brakes that we've got, or these brakes over here that we've got, we haven't improved their performance that much yet. So they have a lower number, but they do have the reduced tire wear thing. And they're close enough that they might potentially be within the same performance band, because the actual number here doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is whether you're in the top quarter, second quarter, etc. Compared to everyone else. They're close enough that we might be in the same quadrant. So I'm going to give Maritson these brakes with a slightly lower number, but the improved tire wear efficiency, and then Owlbear get the higher number there, which she likes. Now this engine here. Now, obviously, we don't want to use the 434. That's way behind the times. The question is, do we want to give Jesper, who we're sort of putting more hope into, do we want to give Jesper the 510, which is clearly better than 482? Although again, relatively close, 28 points apart. But it doesn't have as much reliability yet, which means we can't push as hard with this engine. I feel like we're going to keep Jesper on the 482 over here and the high reliability, so you can push the engine and not have a chance of a breakdown. And then we'll go ahead and give Amina this one here. So she may not be able to push as hard, but that's going to kind of work out okay with our first lap strategy, or first stint strategy, because likely what we're going to do is we're going to have Amina not push as hard in the first stint so that she can pit one lap later than Maritson. That's the hope. That's the hope over here. So we're going to do that, but then if we go down to the suspension, I'm going to give Maritson the better suspension than Owlbear to sort of balance things out, and that's actually pretty far apart, so there's a good chance it's going to be there. Although it's worth noting, she would have been delighted before if we hadn't made any changes. Anyway, with that, let's head off to the Ardennes. One of the things with putting more of the better parts on our better driver is we can go and maybe look for another third or above finish for the bigger sponsor money. We did come in first and second in the last two races, fifth 3 races ago, but I think it was third before that, something like that. We've had some really good finishes, so we're going to go with this. We've done our parts fitting. The race is 22 laps, which works out to 8.8 laps out of 40%, which round up is 9, so we should have a 9 lap tank. So that is the sort of stint length we're going to look at, keeping in mind that first stint is actually a lot of them are probably going to be closer to about 8 laps per stint, because we're going to be running more aggressive engine modes. So those are the sort of numbers we're looking at. Looks like there's going to be rain during practice, but should be clear during the race. Not too hot, although I'm betting we're still going to get some warming issues if we're running some of the softer compounds over here. So we will see what that looks like. So we're off to the Ardennes. Now, I don't know the real-life track layouts for a lot of things. I have no idea if this, say, looks like I'm gonna say Spa. Spa is in Belgium, right? So I don't know if this is, anything remotely close to the real world track layouts or what. I have no idea. They might want to go quite differently, actually, just to avoid any issues with, I don't know, copyright. I'm assuming track layouts can probably be copyrighted. Probably makes sense. I don't think they'd be patented or trademarked, but they should have some sort of intellectual property behind them. All right, we're gonna grab these two drivers over here. 5 and a 4 with the form is not very exciting. Car setup. Let's make some adjustments over here. So tire choice. Super softs are estimated to run from 11 to 13 laps for us. It does say low tire wear for this. Theoretically, we could run super softs the entire race. As I say, we might not be able to push them and do that because this is the softest of the 3 compounds, it is going to have the really bad performance when it hits that lowest band, which, depending on various modifiers, is going to hit around 30% tire wear, and we will get a message from the driver for it. At that point, we will lose huge. So the fastest laps have 0-second penalty. The medium laps will have 1-second penalties, but it's that final band which is going to have a 5-second per lap penalty. So we really don't want to drive the tires into that band. So we can probably assume, though, like the 11 might be there, but 10, 9 for sure. I mean, like, all of a sudden we're talking about our stint length. If we push the tires harder, they won't last as long, obviously, but with the temperature and the fact that these are super softs, I don't know that we'll be able to push them that hard anyway, just because of temperature, which is fine. Because again, we did look at some numbers to try to compare, like, let's say you're running super softs on normal versus, the middle or the hardest tire available on a push or attack, which one is faster, and it looks like it always will be. Just run the softest tires possible. Even if you can't go to push or attack very much, just run the softest tires possible. And that's what we're going to do because our duration is going to be pretty decent. Let's make some adjustments over here. We could load something, but again, it doesn't tend to work very well. We'll leave the speed balance there, the handling there. Maybe I'll move the downforce. I mean, it looks like it's going to be higher end. Because we can assume, let's assume that the target's going to be probably more likely in the middle of this band. I'll move a little to increase the downforce, but most likely it's going to be to the right. And we're hoping to get the right direction. But if this comes out to like a good, that would be kind of nice because we'd know sort of within the range where the great excellent might be. Okay, we'll leave you there. And then over here with Jesper's car, you want quite stiffer over there. I think we're going to leave everything the same, except we're going to stiffen up the suspension. Something like that. And let's actually make the speed balance a little longer. Okay, you're going to want the speed balance like there. I'm betting that is also going to be way too low. But again, actually, I will go and increase the gear ratio a little because I think it's not going to be quite near that edge. Okay, let's do that. We're going to hit take practice. So theoretically, there's supposed to be rain at some point. Send you out. Choo-choo-choo. Send you out. Choo-choo-choo. No rain predicted yet. I don't know. Could be wrong. We don't have a weather center, so who knows. Bring you in. Where's the pit? There it is. All right, did we get okay grade okay? That's interesting. 81% to start. Actually, surprisingly good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the downforce by a fair bit. That might not be far enough, but I don't want to overshoot because it can make it a lot harder to find the right spot. We're going to increase the speed balance a little more, and the handling, I'm going to just do that. Okay, do this and then come in. Good, good, poor. That's not bad, because good, at least we know we're in the right neighborhood. So I am going to decrease the downforce. Speed balance, I'm going to make this quite a lot longer, and I'm going to stiffen up the suspension some more, because we're not close enough. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Martin's out first. I think there were fewer adjustments to make. I mean, he pitted a little sooner too, but sometimes they reverse direction depending on how many changes are being made. Ooh, I think we got a very unhappy face here, didn't we? We were okay on the downforce. We went very poor. Hold on. So you're telling me the downforce is going to have to be right on this kind of left edge. That is quite surprising. The handling was great. Is now only good over there. So actually, where the handling ended up is probably it. We want it here, sort of the right. The speed balance was great. It has changed considerably now because of... That's probably too far for that. That might be okay. Although, no, I would like to go a little further with speed balance. Could we do it maybe with the tires? That's not going to be a good way to do it. Maybe I'll just mess with the rear wing a little. Let's try something like this. We'll definitely be bringing you back in, though. So I worsen the downforce. Yeah. Oh, wow. Because I think I assumed we were going to want less downforce for both drivers, and it did not turn out to be the case. So we want more downforce. Kind of like that. To the left of the previous good. I think that'll be at least in the great range. Was good. Became great over there. Stiffen a little. Bring the speed balance back somewhere over there. Actually, do something like this. And send you out and see what the deal is. I don't care so much about the tire trim on this one, because the tire trim doesn't have very much of an impact on the softest tire compound, is the way the math works out. Oh, there comes the rain. But that's okay, because we can just use the, you know, the pit stop hero or whatever. We're at 95%, and that's with the downforce only being good. Now, we don't know where we should be with this. Let's go and add a little more of that. Normally in racing, you have a 10% difference. That's not how it works in this game, but obviously this is going to break the speed balance. But that's okay. Let's see where the good downforce is. We can always revert to the 95, which is going to be fine. In fact, I may not want to fiddle any more than this. 95% is going to be pretty good. There's a very little difference in the last bit. You know, I'm going to make this change, and then we'll see what this does for us. But otherwise, just stay out. We're going to try to... I want to get to level 3 racing knowledge. Yeah. I like that. Triple great. What's our actual number? Watch it be lower than 95. 92, see? Alright, well, we don't know where the downforce should be. I'll give you, like, a scooch more and see what that does for us. Handling was great there. It's still great. Let's give you a little over on the left a little bit more, and the speed balance gets adjusted a little more. I mean, they're all little tiny tweaks. I'm going to bring you in one more time. If we end up with like a 94 with this change, I'll be okay with it. And the handling... Oh, hold on. Dang that. Didn't the handling just drop to good? 93. Okay, but that gives us really useful information with the handling. So, we need to soften you up by a tick. That's gonna be lovely. I think we can keep you out now. Stay out, get me that racing knowledge up to level 3, please, if you can. That would be really nice. And I can live without the tire knowledge. It's good, because it's coming up slower for some reason. Ooh, I don't think we're gonna get to level 3 race trim. That is hugely disappointing. I don't know if it's partially based on the amount of laps you do or something, so like we're going slower because it's raining right now, so we may not actually be getting as much info. You can see the tire temp is going up. We're running in yellow and the temp is going up. And actually, well, I don't know if it's simulated like this in real life. Having some you know, wetness on the track keeps the tires cooler. Well, I mean, if you're inters and wet, sometimes people will intentionally drive through a little bit of a wetter spot to cool them down. With the slicks, I don't know, because they actually might slide more from side to side. But anyway, I don't think any of that is actually simulated in here, so I don't think it matters much. What's our actual grid position? Okay, I will take a first... In fact, I'm pretty happy with the 13th. I was just hoping it wasn't going to be like... Didn't we get one where we were like 19th and 20th or something? I might just be... All right, as far as we know, it is going to be clear. 20 degrees, so it's a little cooler, although the sunshine, I think, does increase the asphalt temperature a little bit. We're going to go with the race trim, the super soft tires. So again, this provides a discount to the time penalty provided by the tires, but unless we're in the lowest band of the softest compound, there's really not much of a time penalty from them, and with 5%, it definitely doesn't do much. We're not going to run medium, so we'll take pit stop legend. Someone did send a screenshot to confirm that is just -1 to the total, not every sub parts of it. So again, race trim, no to the super softs. You also have pit stop legend, but tire changes are slightly over 2 seconds, aren't they? Like 2.5 seconds or something? So wouldn't this be faster than pit stop legend? In any case, wouldn't it be kind of redundant? I think maybe. Okay, it says 50% faster. Now, depending on actually how this is counted, because the wording, if something is 50% faster, are we actually just saying it takes 50% less time? Which is certainly the way I'm interpreting it, which means a saving of at least 1 second, which is pretty good. But another way, if something, like if a car is going 50% faster, then it's actually just reducing the amount of time something takes by 33%, right? I'm assuming this is actually cutting it in half. I guess we might find out here, too. Okay, yes, we're definitely going to start both on the super softs. That's for sure. Let's double check what we ended up with here. 97%, we're obviously going to go with that. And there was actually a little bit of back and forth about the correct fuel loads. Like, if you're sure that you can work out the math correctly, it actually might be better at the start. Now, the fact that he's in first and therefore doesn't have to overtake anyone, I'm actually going to suggest we underfuel him by maybe 1. Although, hold on. No, we have to remember that the math seems to indicate that running in a higher engine mode is worth carrying extra fuel. Because what I was going to say is, I really want to have my first lap time be as low as possible, because we want to put a gap between us and who's behind us. I think the best way to do that is to... Well, actually, I guess for the first lap would be this, because we're going to assume everyone's going to run in red. If we do this, we can run on overtake mode, or at least high engine mode, for longer. But if we do this, we can save 0.15 seconds on that first lap. I think I'm going to do that with Maritzen. And yes, you're going to run on super softs. Now, over here with the Owlbear, there we go, we got to 95%. I will keep you fully fueled up, because you need to stay out a little bit longer as well. Yes, okay, I like it. Super soft, yes. We're going to start everything in double red. We're going to have to pull way back on the tire mode really quickly because of temperature. In fact, if it's anything like our practice, we may have to run a little on conserve just to stop us from running out the tire mode. And we're going to try to do that much earlier with Owlbear than with Maritzen, because, again, we want her to stay out a little bit longer. Although, oh, Maritzen got a terrible start. Did it say 20th for a second there? He got a terrible start off the line. It is just a random number. As far as I know, there's no driver skill. What the? You bastard! What are you doing? This is your form of 7.9. Disagree. Yeah, you see, oh, if you look at the tire temperature, you can actually see the needle move. So I'm going to leave you on high. I'm going to pull you back to neutral with the tires right away. Maritzen, I want you to keep fighting a little more aggressively for a bit if you can. I mean, on the bright side, everyone else is also going to be struggling with tire temp. So they're going to have to drop down fairly quickly as well. Come on. What is this crap? That was just the worst start. Jasper, I'm very disappointed in you. I just wanted you to know that. Going for now. Ooh. That could have been good, but you got a little caught up there. Okay, still double red. Still, you're fighting for it now. That's good. Trying to give you as much time as I can on the attack. There you go. Okay. Let's, well, actually, let's try to finish it. Okay, let's pull down to push. We want these tires to last, and actually the temp. I'm going to go down to yellow here. We're going to stay on the red engine mode for a while. Okay, you're fine. You're down to orange because you did start with the lower tire engine condition. I think that's okay. All right, now we're getting a little bit of distance. Oh, wow, they're lost in position. That's too bad. You actually might be able to go back up to orange for the tire. The yellow is just staying at the bottom of the red right now. And again, as far as we know, with all the code, nothing matters the tire temperature unless it's at 100% or 0%, in which case it just multiplies the tire wear dramatically. Keep getting the spacing. I think I might just drop an engine mode over here. Yeah, there you go. Other people have as well. We've got more than one lap apart between these two, which is going to be good for the pit stop. If anything, we might want to stretch this out a little bit. I don't know if the distance stays good. What's our gap? 1.8? Try to keep an eye on that. 1.9. Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm quite happy to stretch that. We'll take a look at exactly what our fuel situation looks like as we go by the pit entrance, because we're going to try to maximize fuel usage. But there you go, 2 seconds, good. Albert's just having a hell of a hard time. Okay, the pit entrance is over here. 4.3 laps of fuel, so you can stay out for 4 laps, and you could do 2 of them on the orange. The tire wear's in good situation, a good place too. Just keep doing this for now. In fact, they wore out their tire a lot more. We actually might still be in our top band. We may have just left the top band. Our pace is slower, so that's probably what has happened, actually. The gap is still there. There you go, a little bit of an overtake. Now that it's cloudy, I think the tire temps aren't rising as much, which is nice to see. As far as you know, it's still going to be dry. That's good. Yeah, let's put you up into orange engine mode now. That should be okay. And how you doing, Albert? Yeah, you still... I mean, I can't give you any more than this. Engine conditions already dropping down. The tire temp, in fact, is getting too high as is. I'm going to have to pull back on that. Actually, your tires are both in sync here. Let me conserve your tires a bit, because you're going to need an extra lap out of them. So let's do that. Plus, it'll help drop the temperature down a little bit. Because this is creeping up slightly on yellow. It is definitely creeps up a little on yellow. Fuel, still good there. We'll do one more lap on the orange like this. What's our gap? 4.4, or yeah. 4.5 seconds. Holy cow. And I mean, we're in the same tire performance, or the same strategy here. Their form is lower, although they might be a better driver. Right? Same. Martin's got some good skills at this point. This lead is nuts. Just absolutely nuts. Amazing the temperature's barely dropped on these tires, despite the fact that we're in conserve mode. We've only saved 1% over the last lap compared to Maritzen, although I think it will make a difference. We're going to go and drop to a medium mode here, just to preserve the engine a little bit more for now. It means we'll end up doing the pit stop with a little bit more fuel, but that's okay, because we could get roundups and maybe some freebies and things like that. Keep in mind, Maritzen, of course, does have that one lap worth of fuel less, most likely, than our competitors. So this whole time, with every lap, he should be gaining 0.15 every lap, non-stop for that. So that's, is it 7? 7 laps is a little over a second saved, I think. Sorry, don't math in public, kids. It never works out. Temp is still going up here, although, I think we're going to try this. Again, we'll lose a lot of tire performance when it hits about 30. And that's going to happen really fast with the tires overheating. But we have a lot of space here. We can burn, well, about 20% before we hit the lower band. So even with this running orange and hitting the max temperature, I think we're still going to win out here and gain a little bit of time. Let me switch you back to neutral on your tire wear here, too. Yeah, there's surprising little tire wear going on here. You can definitely, in fact, you could do it on overtake, but we'll do high just to guarantee that we can get the roundup of a free tire thing. So yeah, there's the tire temp going up. Yeah, you're turning through his tires, that's fine. In fact, you might even be able to go to attack here, but I don't want to dip it into the bottommost band at all. Okay, so we will plan a pit stop. We are going to fully fuel up here. I wonder if that'll round properly. It might give us the freebie, so let's do that. If it doesn't, oh well, we fill up the last lap. You're going to go back on softs, because that's clearly still a winner. And we have not yet been punished for going fast in the pit stop, so we're going to keep doing it until we do. You drop this down to yellow, just to hope that we get the free rounding up of fuel. And Albert... yeah, you're going to pit next lap. So you can go back to high, and you can start pushing on your tires now, too. And some people are going to be pitting in front of you, so you might be able to, you know, make up a little bit more territory. Yeah, I think we're gonna time this out really well with the entrance to the lowest band. Improved her performance, and then she falls back on position. Refueling, good, done, excellent. Off target for now, but that's fine. I mean, we're the first pit, that's what's going to happen. And Albert here, let's do this. Put you on the super softs again. Fill you up this way, which should round up to the 9. Parts are okay. Pit strategy there. 9-second pit time. Oh yeah, 1.3 seconds for the tire change. It's like, because I was like, why is that number so low? But that would be why. Oops, wrong person. Just run them on neutral for now. Go to attack mode. You'll actually end up with more tire. Yeah, we could have been more aggressive with these tires. Yellow flag crashed on Day Thomas. Or, I think she was just complaining that she couldn't get by him. And then apparently she could. Alright, well, one less person. Actually, not too bad with Martin because it's one less person to overtake as well for him. Alright, let's bring the speed up here. Yeah, but you're about to pit, so it's going to be fine. Although when you come out, I want you to run on neutral like that, please. So there'll probably be a lot of double yellow in this one for Martin, up until he gets into a passing position, and then we'll know exactly how much we can push things on his final stint. Okay, you're going to pit anyway, so passing you is not the biggest concern. Well, actually, I can probably run on high, at least. That's going to be at least a guarantee. It's fairly efficient. Doesn't use up that much more fuel. Yeah. Maybe I'll do the same thing over here. They're currently in 11th. I'm closing out on some overtakes. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to put you on the orange tires for a little bit. Martin, back in first with no one nearby. Yeah, we'll just run you on medium for now. So we can go extra long and guarantee the best tires for the final stint, where we're maybe having to pass some people again after a pit stop, so we'll want the performance. Now, we do have to make sure that we don't end up resyncing, like, burning so hard over here that she has to pit one lap earlier than expected. But right now, the fuel is perfect for them to split that. In fact, if I do this, they'll literally be one lap apart. And then we can still make some adjustments. Tire wear, yeah, I think I'm going to have to drop you to the yellow as well, just to keep a few extra percentages in there for you. You're up in 6th right now. Actually, not bad. Yeah, and everyone's pitted once, so you are properly in 6th position. Okay. Now, Santa Ana, I believe, drives for Silva. And the other one is Jonsdottir, who's having a terrible time. Oh, that's really good for me. Okay. I mean, it'd be better if Santa Ana was having a worse race. It's strange that she's on the soft instead of the supers, because as far as I know, these supers are going to be... They're a lap. They're perfect for this race. No rain predicted. Weather stable. It is going to get fairly hot here. And yeah, we're running on yellow and temps going up. In fact, it may go a little higher up here. Are you having trouble passing? I can't give you any more tire. Let's give you some overtake mode. I mean, I could give you a little tire right now. Get in there. Awesome. Let's still run on high for a bit. I could give you a little, but then we definitely have to go to conserve. I mean, we may still have to go for conserve for a bit. Alright. I'm going to run you on high as well, just to make sure the fuel numbers kind of make sense. You're defending 5th place. Alright, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. 8-second gap. No bonus points for that. Yellow flag. Another crash. El Sadat. Honestly, this kind of mostly just helps Jonsdottir now, which is not great for me. Yeah, you got lots of tires left. I mean, temp keeps going up. We are going to want to go a little more aggro here, but we can't... That's the thing. Because of the temperature, we really can't push the tires very much. So we're not getting maximum wear. On the other hand, we really want to avoid hitting that 30-ish% condition, whereas we drop into the final wear band with this. Look at Zvanaman here. She's probably very close to hitting the low performance band. And again, I mean, we have the same pit times. So yeah, his performance is going to drop radically. He's going to have to pit. Alright, drop back down to medium. And 2 laps left. Pit lane's just coming up over here. I think that's going to be perfect on the yellow. Yep, it should be perfect on the yellow. I think I'll push the tires up to orange for the final lap here. Go 4th place. Oh yeah, well he pitted, so that kind of makes sense. Baronlik though is gonna have to pit soon too, because they're hitting that lowest band. They actually will probably be forced to do a stint on a slight less good tire. Oh, I forgot I was running on orange here. Hold on. That might screw things up a little bit. with my expected time to come in. You know what? Stay on neutral for a sec. Pit lane's just coming up, right? We may have to do a tiny bit of blue. Let's do a tiny bit of low. Just to make sure we don't have to coast into the pit lane. Okay, I think that's okay. Meanwhile, Owlbear, you're just passing there. You actually may have to do a little tiny bit of low as well. To stretch it out. Although we're late enough in the race, actually. You know what? No, we're fine. Alright, so you're going to pit. You're going to do this, because there's only going to be 6 laps remaining after this. We're going to pit with 0. We're going to put in the extra lap of fuel. Because we're going to want to run harder, and we know that that apparently does win. We can actually fix the front wing without losing any time. Now, there's enough range over here. Now, it is another thing that could go wrong. But yeah, we're going to do that. It doesn't change our pit time. It's going to be 9 seconds regardless. Yeah, pit stop legend. There you go. -1. Okay. I don't think it actually affects performance. They say something like, oh, it looks a lot better, but I don't think that does anything. So, I think you're going to be okay. I think, hold on. Let's throw you on blue here. So we can always tweak it afterwards, but it's... If we don't do the blue quickly enough on the owlbear, we might find ourselves with a hard time. Now you... Okay, you're pitting here. Look at this. 0.01 laps of fuel lift going into the pit. That is rough. Yeah, you're low. No, you're going to be okay. Because it's 0.9 laps of fuel on a blue strategy, which we're just barely going to do, but we're going to do it. And you do have the excess fuel, so we're going to run you on high for the rest of it, and potentially do some overtake as well. We just lost a little position there. And Martin just got past, didn't he? Loyo might have been going kind of aggressive. I don't know. But he's got a pit again, so it's not a concern. I can push you into push right now. Go back down here. Might be a little coasting in pit lane, but you're gonna be fine. I didn't hit the pit button. Whoops. We're fucked. Oh my god. I didn't hit the pit button. So, you're gonna lose a lot of speed here. How much is that gonna kill us? Oh my god, I can't believe it. The full plan, we had everything, and then you lost your tire performance too. I don't know if you can go... Yeah, you can go high here, and you're gonna push as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. 2 laps remaining, you're good there. Can we get her back into the points? Start finish line over here. Yeah, you are on your 21st, 21, 22. Okay, you can actually run this in red. Yeah, keep pushing the tires. Oh, for crying out loud. Now your engine's dying? Well, I don't care. You're going to run on red anyway. Please let me fast forward anyway. Oh, you're fine. You're about to finish your final lap. You can actually finish an overtake. Not that it matters much. And this is your final lap. You're going to have to go on yellow now. Go all the way aggro over here. This one's for you, Quill18. Owlbear's not going to feel the same. Hat trick. 3 wins. Nice. Yondo tier wasn't in the points anyway, so at least there's that. Burvots may have been able... I don't know that she lost 6 places in there. Honestly, I'm not convinced she would have finished in the points anyway, but it's still a stupid thing. I was so focused on like checking the math and the numbers and things that I never actually hit the button. I can't believe she went supers to softs to mediums. Like, that doesn't make any sense. 5 laps left, she puts on mediums? Why? Maybe the AI takes into account like various temperatures and things like that. I'm not sure. Now, in terms of driver placements, it's great that Jans didn't come into the points because he was the one competing for the points placements. Johan got the fastest lap as well, which is kind of frustrating. First place over there, but yeah, still getting those points. And there you go. I was going to say Jesper probably goes into first, and he does. Amina in 11th. I'm sorry I didn't get you any points. 18-point gap. So, I mean, we did close the gap a little bit here. But, oof. It looks like it's going to be rain in Munich for the next race. I mean, it's a little goofy that we'd get a weather forecast out that far ahead, but god damn it, I'm so mad. I'm so sorry, Albert. For some reason, she lost morale. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, you almost skilled up. Almost. Okay, we crushed that. We got the bonus money from the sponsors. Again, it is interesting that whether we took the first place sponsor or the third place sponsor, we got exactly the same bonus. Saving. Yeah, the hat trick. Yeah, of course we'll do it. Oops, I didn't mean... I'm all flustered now. I'm all flustered. So I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm complete... Ooh. I love the stamina. 11 in the tires. Not the worst refueling. Decent fixing. Yes, you're being hired. Welcome to the team. Why would it close that screen? That's so annoying. 91's not bad. 90's not bad. 11 on the tires, but not much else. I mean, obviously you're being rejected. You've got a 96, which is nice, and you can run the front jack, but we've got plenty of those. 97, new. I'm actually wondering about this guy. Okay, first of all, if we just do remove, yeah. It'd be too bad you can't just blank this, because it'd be a little easier to maybe reset some things this way. So yeah, the 5 tires over here is just terrible. Would I hire this guy at this point? Look, and it put a 1 in for the rear jack? God damn it. And I do love how this button, I double checked this. I love how it says it automatically hires crew, and I don't think it even hires crew. Might renew contracts, but that's about it. Alright, we'll swap you here. Okay, at least these guys are all on tires. This guy's terrible with the jack, and he's actually good on tires and refueling. She should clearly be there. So rear jacks. I know you're lower on stamina, but that 13 is pretty good. Might lead to bigger mistakes. Front jack. Yeah, the 87 is probably fine for this. Or, actually, I could just put T Manning in there, because they both have a 10. They both have basically the same stamina, and this could rest Draper, so that he can come in just be better at it later on. The 10 tires and 8 refueling is fine. I mean, it's just the question is this person with here with O'Donnell with the 83. Like, do I actually want to use them? Well, I mean, it's not... 83 is about as good as this. We could, again, rest him so that he can get a better race later on with a higher stamina. So we'd be dropping 1 tire, but gaining 1 refuel. So that kind of works out to exactly the same, and they have effectively the same stamina. So we'll swap those 2. And that's going to have to be okay. And actually, the fueling may be, because it is a longer job, it may actually turn out to be more important. I don't know how they weight those numbers. It looks like it did improve the pit times. Not too worried about fixing at all, and 12 tires is very nice. What's your refueling? Your refueling's a 10. I should swap these 2. In fact, your fixing is better if we decide we want to do that. God, this thing is really bad at automatically doing that, huh? Okay, let's advance until the repairs are done. Oh, and a factory update's about to be done too. Right. Staff. New sponsors. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. There we go. Now the repairs are complete. Let me actually just advance still. God, I'm so flustered this video. Oh! He accepted. You're going to race instead of Amina. We're not going to break your contract right now. We might keep you as a backup. Yeah, you're going to replace Amina over here. All right, fingers crossed. Contract signed. Da 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 da. Yeah, sponsors. Hold on a second. What's our overall marketability right now? 81%. 4 stars. Okay. You're improving this engine, which is great. Let's get this suspension going as well. Still going to be 1 day before the race as is. And we're going to have to do some more reliability work in a second. I might want to go and do a little like that. Building upgrades complete. Excellent. 3 days. R&R. Max Porter. You need a break. Oh my. He needs a break, you guys. I don't know what Burnout does. Burnout's probably pretty bad, though. Refocus is probably good. Break out the cucumber. We're going to... I can't believe you need a break right away, but we're going to go and hit this button. I don't know what these are, but the fact that it's a negative trait versus a positive trait, I'm going to assume it's going to be really important for us to make this decision. Let's see. Refocused. Does give him +1 to everything. I wonder if Burnout might have given -1 to everything. I think that was well worth the $250,000. Hopefully. We're investing a lot in this punk. All right. New engine design is finished. And then we'll have to decide if we're working on another part after this. So obviously we're going to clear everything over here. We're going to work on the reliability of this engine to the max, and it's going to be done before the race as well. Okay, we do have our 30 staff available now and more parts. Okay, you're going to run those two. We're going to do this. I might shuffle these around just to keep the moods a little higher. All right, we have all of our best parts equipped over here. So now we can go back over here to improve parts. We can look at their cars, what's got the lowest reliability. I guess the wing stuff, let's consider those. And then with max, you've got your engine, this and this. What I'm going to do is I'm cut one out because it's still, I mean, this is basically going to be good enough in 1 hour after race. I mean, you know, this is going to be basically 100% engine reliability, which is going to be fine. Mail. All right, scouting reports. We still have lots of scouting in the queue. Yeah. Okay. Running those events. Yeah, just waiting for the sponsors, just in case there's like a few more that show up at last minute. Although I think those queues are all full. It is going to be interesting if the race is actually going to be in the rain. Those often lead to some of the best results for us, because we usually can make better decisions. I get to choose a vote. Well, I don't want to, because I'm hoping to not be in this league next year. So I'm going to save the £1 million. You've got mail. Okay. Scouting, yep, that's fine. Okay, let's do this. We've got a few more days, but it's going to be okay. This has got to be more, right? Hang on. What was it? 2,750 divided by 8 is 343,000 per race. Yeah. Done. It's higher star rating, so it makes sense that it's the highest paying, but that's not always the case. Not always the case. A lot over here. That's a long deal. But it's $500,000 per race. That's going to work out that better. I mean, there's a bit more of an upfront payment for something that's shorter, but there's no way. Yeah, there's no way. All right, Hypertech. All right, this is helping our finances a lot. In fact, we could almost squeeze in... Oh yeah, I didn't start another part. Do I want another part? Maybe one more suspension. Yeah, I should have started it right away. Now, we still can't do the grates. These two have risks. This lowers the max. It gives us more right away. Yeah, all right. I should start that. Again, this entire video, I've just been flustered. I don't know why. God. I have to make a cup of tea before I record the next one. All right, travel to Munich. Mail's fine. 99% in the engine. Lovely. Why are they still in here if it's 100%? It doesn't actually matter. I'm throwing some other random parts here because we can do 6. I didn't want to overload it because I wanted to make sure the engine was there. And it is. I mean, we can do some passive like performance improvements as well. There we go. This engine's got 7%. It could squeeze out. We're not going to keep working the suspension. And so there must be like a fractional amount that's still there that we can't really see. So, all right, we'll just improve these 5. I'm going to start balancing these out. Reliability is good enough. Yeah, at least until we get our next part and things. Okay, so we are going to put a cut in here. Again, we'll take Vamoose because there's no difference between the two. And we'll see how we can do. Oh, yeah, heavy rain predicted for race day itself. So I suspect what we'll be doing is our practice in the wets. Folks, thanks for watching another episode. I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.